Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother, right about now. The Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now.
Denver Broncos Mile High View. No commercials, no bullshit. I cannot give you a full film study. I just want to make a couple of points. People will come and say, oh, you don't like the Broncos. You're talking about Justin Simmons. Crying a river for Justin Simmons or Draymond Jones, who, you know, he did get some pressures. Yes, he did get a couple double teams. Obviously, he's not producing like Cooper. Although, you know, if he, like I really do think that if we had somebody more dynamic, maybe Cooper's the guy, I don't know. Maybe Draymond Jones, it would elevate his game. Anyway, so these are the kind of things we talk, because, you know, just hoping that a team has an overlooked game isn't what here at Mile High View, that's not acceptable. And we don't make excuses for players. So I want to get into this film study. It's just a couple of points I want to make. Now, there's people that think we just pick on Justin Simmons because we hate the Broncos. No, we need to make the Broncos better. We need to hold players accountable. That's what a real Bronco channel does, not taking Elway's Dove Valley talking points and, you know, showing a couple of hits that Justin Simmons does and say he's the next coming of Steve Atwater, okay? Now, I did a film study with the Cleveland Browns, and if you go to 655, I point out Justin Simmons. Instead of doing what Stearns did, a rookie, because this guy's got football IQ, I would need you to go back, and I'll leave the link for the Denver Broncos Cleveland Browns film study. Go to 655. I specifically point out Justin Simmons letting the receiver go to chase a halfback, which was really the responsibility of the linebacker. You got Cecil Lammey, and you got all these, and his sidekick, Nick Ferguson, you know, coming up with fairy tales, saying that, oh, no, that's not Justin Simmons. See, they make excuses up, but I'm going to show you this is what Justin Simmons should have done that night in Cleveland, is what Stearns did, because he's in the exact same place, but he's covering the receiver. He's covering the middle of the field. That's what we've been asking Justin Simmons to do. He's getting way overpaid because he's not doing that. And we're trying to figure out, how do we get Stearns out on the field? I definitely would rather have Stearns than Justin Simmons out there. If all Justin Simmons can do is hit the running back in the backfield, nice, great tone setting. I loved it. But when you can't cover the middle of the field as a safety, you really don't even there's no value to you. You can't help over the top. You can't cover the middle of the field. I would like to see, where has this Justin Stearns been? Where has he been? Why can't we get this guy out on the field? Oh yeah, that's because of Justin Simmons. It's really the place that he should be. You know, it just, you just gotta shake your head. It's so frustrating. And no, we're not just, you know, it's not that we hate the Broncos. This is the kind of play we want the Broncos to do. This is what we want the Denver Broncos to do. We don't want you to hide, you know, let's hide, you know, just because you can't cover. So I just want to make an announcement. The NFL has not released the coach's film on this, so I apologize about that. Now I want to talk about at Mile High View, why we obsess over the offensive line. There seems to be a certain fan base with the Broncos whose attitude is very Elway-like, yeah, the linebacking, it's good enough. And don't worry about that. Just get whatever. And, you know, the offensive line, just, you know, we'll get some names like Juwan James and Malik Watson. Everybody else will just, you know, kind of like Glasgow. Oh, great signing. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, Glasgow isn't going to do what Meinerz did. There's a reason why at Mile High View we absolutely obsess over the lines, because it's the wheel that makes the rest of it turn. You can have all the great receivers that you want, and this has been proven time and time again. And Elway can't, the Raiders learned, but back in the 90s. Now Elway, we just got to get rid of Elway. This is the kind of play you're not going to get from Glasgow, who got way overpaid. It was when Fleming and Meinerz really started busting holes open. And I'd like to see these guys out there more often. I'd like to see the script flipped. Of course we won't, and it's just this. Look at Meinerz. Look at this. Is this what you're going to get from Glasgow, like on a running play? No, you're not. And yes, Meinerz, I would say he's as good as pass pro as and he's only going to get better. He's as good with his pass pro as Glasgow. This is why we're rough on the Broncos, because we see what they could be if we could just get Elway kicked out of this building and totally hands off. It was Sandy Clough who dropped the hint. He said, if Elway doesn't want to get blamed, called out, just get out of the building completely. Stop hiding behind George Payton. Stop hiding behind Fangio, because your fingerprints are all over the place. And the places that they're not, the team seems to flourish. Ownership is definitely needed.